Hi, everybody. Can you hear me all right?
Yeah, thumbs up.
Okay, excellent. Awesome. Well, thank you for joining us here today. The Huntsine Institute for Sexuality Studies will be based on Gadigal lands here in Sydney, Australia, and we recognize that as settlers on this space that we have a responsibility to learn about and engage with Indigenous law and ownership of the land wherever we are invited to do so. And hopefully we'll have an opportunity to get into that a little bit more during the Institute itself. To start off with some introductions, my name is Kelly, and I will be your student support here at HIS and in the days leading up to it. And next up we have...
Hi everyone, my name is Nanda Jarrells. I am the administrator here at Shark, and I will be hopefully working with as many of you as possible around promotion and sharing your stories and experiences via social media. I might also invite you to introduce yourselves in the chat as we're going around and acknowledge the traditional owners of the land upon which you are located today. So I look forward to meeting you all.
Hi everyone, my name is Lee Wallace and I'm the director of SHARC, which is the Sydney Social Sciences and Humanities Advanced Research Centre, which is the rooms that we're in here. This is where HIS will take place. This will effectively be the staff room, and underneath us we've booked out the entire floor below, which will be the school room for the duration of HIS. So I'm one of the co-directors of HIS along with Vic Rawlings.
Hi everyone, I'm Vic Rawlings. I am I always come into Shark and pretend that I belong here, so I'm really looking forward to doing that along with all of you as well. But yes, I'm co-directing HIS. I'm really excited about it. I'm a lecturer in education and social work, and so I guess my role is partially to think about how do we imagine HIS functioning almost like a school, but not quite like a school, as a queer school or something like that. And today really is not necessarily about doing all of that kind of conceptual work. We're really going to be planning to do all of that in February when you arrive, because the idea of HIS is that while we're going to be planning a lot of the events that are taking place, the whole kind of concept of HIS, the way that it's carried out, and the day-to-day rules and unrules and all of those kinds of things are going to be designed by you at the time. So today is more about putting faces to names, knowing who the four of us are and who to contact when and if you need things in the lead up to HIS, and also just to kind of say hello and share some excitement with you as we go forward. I want to say a special thank you to those people who are joining us from time zones that are antisocial right now. I appreciate you jumping on, and so thanks for making the time for this. But you know, more than anything, we are just so excited for February to come around and for all of our queer HIS to commence.
There's another introduction. As you can see, there's the teacher's pet, Farley, who cannot contain her excitement.
She's got her back to everyone at the moment, which is just her MO usually. Yeah.
And there's one other person. David, can you say hi?
Hello. I'm David, Research Administrative Officer, PhD in Political Economy from Sydney. Welcome.
Thanks, David. All right. So David and Nanda are the Shark team, but it's Vic and I that will be leading HIS.
Yeah, and so today the idea is that I'm going to just run through a few of the need to knows. Questions are welcome at any point, either in the chat or feel free to raise your hand. And then at the end, we'll just open it up for any general questions that you may have. So I just want to start off with a quick reminder about the affiliation process. So participants who are traveling from outside of Australia should receive an email from USyd with your letter of support and information about the visa process within the next 3 weeks, we're hoping. affiliation with the University of Sydney grants you this letter of support, but also access to our online resources as a campus. And for those of you who are studying in Australia, this is something that you should have access to automatically for HIS as well. Visa processes, times typically vary for them. They can be as speedy as a couple days, as long as a couple of months. So we recommend that as soon as you get your letter from USyd that you jump on the visa application process for yourself. And feel free to let me know how that's going or if you have any concerns along that process. And we'll do our best to support. Next up, funding. Participants coming from outside of Sydney who have shared their paperwork with me should receive an e-transfer from USyd in the next 8 weeks, hopefully, to help with travel and accommodation costs. And we're really excited to announce that each HIS participant will receive an Opal Transit Pass worth $100 to help cover the cost of field trips and transit costs around USyd. Any questions so far?
So far.
Okay, you're good.
I've got it.
Okay. So we would love to know how your accommodation search is going. It is a really, it's going to be an incredibly busy time for the city of Sydney. So yeah, we'd like to know as a group, how have you been faring with booking accommodations? If you've been having any challenges in that regard.
Yeah, does anyone have any feedback on if you've been able, you can do this in the chat or you can say out loud, if you've been able to book accommodation. We know that, with World Pride on, we have had feedback from non-HIS people that it's a really hectic time for trying to book accommodation. So we want to make sure that we can support you if you are having problems. So thanks, Sarah. Who's booked a room about 2 kilometres from campus. That's great. That's awesome. That's about as good as it gets, I reckon. And Florin, love to hear that you're staying above the Annandale Hotel. That is also really, really close and a great live music venue. So that's going to be really fun for you. Hopefully you enjoy that kind of music. Neve, so good, in the same hotel. So this is really great for us to hear that you're having some success and it all sounds really local. So well done. Really love to hear that. And near the campus too, that's so great. Mm-hmm. Really great to hear. That's giving me some joy to hear that. If people are having problems, we are here to help you. So you can reach out to Kelly. There's the kind of Hunt Symes Institute email address that you can email Kelly at, or you can also email Lee or I. In terms of the neighbourhoods that are surrounding, we've got some of the names of the places are in the chat. So places like Camperdown, Newtown, Annandale, Redfern, Glebe, Ultimo, Chippendale, all of those places are pretty close. And so you can also put on kind of filters when you're looking for accommodation. Anything within 2 or 3 kilometres from the university will have usually really good transport links to the university. And if you do need, and in terms of accessible by transit, the university generally has good bus routes that are along the main arterial roads that run along both sides of the university. So usually there's pretty good transport available and it's all pretty walkable around here as well. So if you do need that list of kind of suburb or neighbourhood names, just let Kelly know and we can help you advise you about those things.
Sure.
Can I just check if we will be on the Camperdown campus? Is that right?
Yes, that's correct. Yeah. So we're right in the Camperdown campus and we're on the Parramatta Road side of campus. We're right next to the ovals, if that's helpful, in the university.
What building number?
The building is called the RD Watt building. Yeah, I'll put that in the chat.
Okay, cool, thank you.
RD Watt, and we're right by the Ross Street entrance, if you need to know that. It's a very beautiful building. You'll know it when you're here.
Everything's very picturesque, you know, it's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had a Harry Potter event here in the Great Hall across the weekend. And there were lots of little Hermiones and little Harrys rushed out in full gear.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. We also, I'm very new to Sydney, but many of you have lived in the city for many, many years. So if you have questions about the city itself, we can answer them today, or you can pass them along to me later on too. And if I don't know, I have a great resource in the team.
look, the thing is, the city will be very, very buzzy and across Mardi Gras and World Pride. I think that it's going to be, the public transport may prove difficult, but I think it will be very buzzy and very friendly at that time.
Yeah, very exciting. Jump to the next slide, but if you have questions, keep them coming. So we wanted to give you today a little bit of a sample of the schedule. Everything in the schedule that we're showing you today is subject to change, but yeah, we wanted to give you a taste. Lee and Vic can give us a little bit of a rundown about what we might be doing for the first 3 days.
Yeah, so like I said, you know, the kind of vibe of the school is going to be up to all of us when you arrive, but we have set out some basic understandings, and part of that is Lee has really great experience of seeing how institutes work well, and some of her feedback from previous institutes and previous people who've run institutes is that you can get really tired, especially over 2 weeks, with every kind of thing happening every day from like 9 till 5. It's exhausting, and we really wanted to avoid that. We want people to feel excited and buoyant about coming to HIS every day. And so our idea was to put into place just a 2-period day, we could think about it, one from 10 till 12 and one from 2 till 4. And then each day in between those things will be lunch, which will be provided every day for you, which is a short walk away at the Women's College, about a 5-minute walk down the road within the university grounds still. And the campus will be pretty busy at that time. There'll be lots of undergraduates about because the university will have started for the year. But it's going to be hopefully a good little lunch, and also some time for you to kind of relax as well, because we've left 2 hours for that. And then in the afternoon, you know, period 2, the idea at the moment is that we are kind of thinking this is a loose schedule because not everything is locked in, but basically we're thinking about almost having classes, if it makes sense. We might have a maths class, we might have an art class, a drama class. I'm thinking about doing a sports class if we can fit it in. But the idea is that we would have something different happening each period, and we would design those learning encounters in advance of you arriving with some really, really amazing staff, guest teachers, some great scientists and science communicators, some artists. Most of the classes will be interactive, so have activities for you to do. And then basically that's it. That's the kind of part that we'd really like you to be, from 10 till 12 and 2 till 4. And then obviously on some of the evenings we have some queer events. It's World Pride. There's just so many amazing things happening. And there's also really fun, nerdy things happening. So for example, on the first night, we're going to be having the launch of, do you want to talk about this event?
So I've approached this as a kind of curation exercise. So rather than developing a school curriculum, which we'll want you guys to think about doing, I've just curated the people, and I said the premise is to follow a kind of primary school or secondary school classroom, not the advanced theoretical classroom of specialism. And so we want to make you all do things that you are not expert in, may have spent your lifetime avoiding, or like Alison or so on, being ejected from in your previous roles as students. So the first day, we're hoping to start that with some ceremony, which is why we're saying possibly a bit earlier. We're hoping to have some ceremony before you start the school proper. And we'll start with a school orientation session. We'll go to lunch. And the computer studies class is actually Xavier Ho, who's coming in. He's building a queer games and play lab for us up Science Road and what's in the Sydney College of Art project space. That'll be open to the public. People can come for the duration of Mardi Gras and play queer indie games in the space that we've made, but that opens on the Tuesday, and on the Monday afternoon we will take you as a cohort and put you in the games and play lab. So you'll see it's in the Pride Amplify program as Pride at Play. And so that's the class for that day. It's terrible. You have to. I don't even know what these games are. So you get to play with them. Xavier talks you through what he's doing there and his research around queer games, and that's from 2 to 4. And then actually the sausage sizzle is it's the launch of that, and it's our way of saying thank you to SCA, the Sydney College of Arts, and all of Xavier's friends in the Footbridge Gallery and other places around the university have pulled this together. And so we're calling that a sausage sizzle. So you may need to be prepared to do a little bit of cooking, a little bit of sewing. So we might need some people to, run the sausage sizzle and that. So we're curating the school itself, and most evenings there'll be some optional thing. You don't have to come to the launch, but we think it would be a lot of fun, and you would get to meet a lot of artists and things from Sydney. So
we had a small disagreement just before this meeting about the language that we were going to show to you on this table. And for example, the evening events on Tuesday and Wednesday, they say science event at the Botanical Gardens. I mean, I think that's a misrepresentation because it's actually queer science. It's like looking at all the queer knowledge of vegetation and the queerness that we see in kind of plant life and botany and all those kinds of things. So, and equally on the Wednesday night, it's queer stargazing as well. So we've got our amazing scientist, Associate Professor Alice Motion, who's going to be with us, and at the observatory we can kind of lie on our backs and look at the sky, and then use some cool apps to kind of make some music around the stars and things like that. So, we understand that people will have different levels of capacity after days at school, but we also, one of our key aims is to give you every opportunity to build the cohort, to get to know each other and to have fun. We really see fun as a really important part of every lesson and every encounter after school as well. So, this is kind of what maybe each day would look like. We wanted to give just a little bit of an example so you could start thinking about what it would be like to come to be in Sydney, what it would be like to come to HIS. And so, just even almost getting you thinking about what it will feel like once you're here. Did anyone have any questions that they wanted to pitch to us or to the group? I appreciate, Sarah, that you've really put yourself out there with an email address. I love that, and we were hoping that could be one of the outcomes from today, is that you kind of all start connecting about how where you're staying, and if you need advice about what you want to book or where you want to catch up or things like that. I think anything that you put in place for Kelly mentioned Slack, or there's WhatsApp, or anything that you want to do as a group, we're really fully behind that. So you could suggest that in the chat if you'd like.
And if you'd like to create WhatsApp groups or Facebook groups, whatever it is, don't feel obligated to include us. We love it if you have your own space where you don't feel like you're observed by us, but you're also welcome to reach out if you want us involved in those spaces. Just let us know.
Yeah, where to stay, visit, drink, eat, dance. I mean, it's all those really helpful things that locals know. So, don't ask Kelly for any advice.
I've been here just for 2 months, but I'm very aware of how intimidating it can be to navigate.
Oh, yes,
So if you're looking for someone to empathize with.
Perfect, yes. So emotional support, seek Kelly out, but if you want tangible, options for hangouts.
I know a few things.
Yeah. Cool, okay.
Excellent.
I think that's...
we'll jump on to them. So just for a few things to give us a bit of sense of the timeline, Coming up this December, you can expect us to provide you with a draft full 2-week schedule. You'll also get a HIS reading list and a few preparation notes to help you develop some materials for HIS or prepare for some of the lectures we'll be engaging in, workshops, classes. In January, we hope to finalize the schedule and maybe offer you kind of a camp packing list for some of the activities where it might not be so obvious, like a gym class or art class. And then in February, when you arrive, we'll be providing you with our consent forms to collect. Any questions about HIS materials?
We're reflecting back onto the oldie school days, and you know, when just before you go on a camp, I don't know if all of you would have had this, but before you went on school camp, and the school would give you some kind of like list, and it would have like three pairs of underwear, or like, you know, a raincoat or something like that, or like snacks or something. So we're thinking about creating some kind of camp list for all of you as well, just so that you can have some sense of what might be helpful to bring with you. We probably won't get down to the minutiae of how many underwear items to bring.
Too complicated, the calculation. Yeah. And finally, we will be doing promotions, which we would love for you all to engage with. We'd like to create short profiles on each of you for our Shark website, and also, and hopefully Twitter is still standing in the days to come so that we can do that. But I've reached out to some of you, and I'll continue to reach out and collect those bios over email. This is a really awesome opportunity, both for you to celebrate and promote your involvement in the school, and us also to raise up your profiles as incredible scholars and academics and artists from across the world. And if you'd like to post anything about the event, this is the hashtag. I was like, oh no, I didn't check. Okay, yes, we are using the hashtag HIS 2023. So feel free to post on that, and we will retweet and promote as we can. Any questions in general? This is it for my slides.
Can we pick some faces up?
Yeah, I can stop sharing.
Yeah.
Yeah, any questions you have, we'd love to hear them, no matter how silly you think they may be. No, everyone's feeling confident and prepared.
All right. So you remember that one of the issues of consent is around we need your consent to take photographs, and school photographs will be a big thing for us. We've got an artist, our friend Shireen Fahd, who's the photographer behind that image, and many other things that you'll find around here. We'll do our school photographs. So you need to start thinking, guys, what you want to wear in your school photograph, all right? So that's part of the packing. You'll have to think about what you want to wear in your school photograph. And you might, in relation to that, we probably, as part of the prep list, we might invite you to bring a couple of school photographs. You don't have to share them, but you might want to share them of yourself at school, maybe a solo portrait, maybe a group photograph, so that we can build that day around those photographs that you have. So we are also at the present, we're trying to do some careers day. We're going to give you some careers day, get some people in from academic careers and non-academic careers to talk to you. We've got a few things there going on. Art class is looking pretty good, and then there'll be some field trips. There's a big queer exhibition on at the National Art School that we'll take you to, but we'll also try to take you to a much smaller experimental artist-run gallery. And again, so we'll curate the 2 5-day weeks, and there'll be events for you to go to if you want with us in the evening. So I learned a lot from my colleague Olga Boychak, who ran a computational social science in the winter here, and that was when I observed that the students came with so much energy, but they started to run out of that energy towards the second half of the second week. And we ended with this fantastic event. They made these research pitches, and there was a jury there and we did all that. But what they really said in the feedback was that they really missed the fact that there wasn't a social event to mark, the end of this extraordinary cohort building experience. So from that, we've taken away that we absolutely have to build to a social crescendo that will be the formal.
Yeah.
So,
Also known as prom
also known as prom.
for North American folks.
So that's what we're building to, and we're around that we're wrapping with you a genuine kind of inquiry around what a queer-led school or classroom would look like. So from the moment we start thinking about school orientation to the end, the final muck-up day, which those of you who are not Australian, and I'm not, muck-up day is this Australian thing, the last day of school. So the muck-up day will end, and then the formal, so that will be moments of reflection for what's gone on. So we are hoping that you will we'll try and produce a protocol collaboratively about what a queer-led classroom might look like, and we'll also wrap some more formal research about that we hope that you might contribute to as we go forward. And we're hoping that this is the first of 3 HIS institutes that will run across 3 years, and if it has legs, it might go for longer than that, but we've made the commitment to do it for 3 years. We were very excited to secure some money to help bring the international students in particular. It's Kelly you've got to thank for the Opal card. Right, so you will have unlimited transport on Sydney public transport.
Well, not unlimited. $100 worth. That's what you get.
Okay.
But that's better than nothing, right? And it means that you also have a physical card that if you do run over that, you can just recharge it. So hopefully that'll be helpful for everyone, even when you first arrive. So we're super excited. I think there's I just listening to Lee, there's going to be so much happening, and we don't want to overwhelm you today. We just wanted to kind of say hello, hopefully give you some tidbits to get excited about, and also introduce you to ourselves in case you have questions or things to ask. And please do so. There might not be questions right now because it's 2 in the morning or something like that. But if you do have questions going forward, please don't hesitate to get in touch because we want to make sure that you have every opportunity to have a great time while you're here.
Look, and I really endorse what Sarah is saying. Thank you, Sarah. Look, there's lots of official events on for Mardi Gras and World Pride, some of them very expensive and already sold out, like Bondi Beach Party. But there is a huge queer scene in Sydney. It's very niche. Sometimes these things come on very narrow channels, and they get advertised and they kind of go quickly. So if Sarah is offering to connect you within those kind of communication networks, that's a very generous offer. So there will be lots and lots on in the city. Not all of it will cost very much. And I said nothing that we are doing will be expensive or anything. So we're very mindful that you're coming in, that it's an expensive city to get to. For many of you, it's an expensive city to be in, so we'll try and we're here for you, and we'll try and look out for you while you're here. Yeah.
If you have any challenges along the way, don't hesitate to reach out.
Okay. And there will be a couple of homework exercises, and I think if I had to do them, and I might have to do them, they would take me out of my comfort zone. So I'm a very analytic, all kind of conceptual academic person. The homework exercises are not like that. So, yeah. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Any last minute questions?
I was just going to ask if just while everyone's here, like we were talking about, or you were saying like WhatsApp or Facebook groups or something, is there any like preferred way if anybody does want to connect beyond like emails as a little group? Because I know people are coming from all over the place and it might be helpful.
Vote for WhatsApp in the chat, and
I can like shoot an email around or something, or be that person who's keen and organizes if anybody wants.
Excellent, thank you.
Yeah, that'd be fantastic.
Yeah, WhatsApp sounds good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Great.
Perfect. Excellent. Well, we look forward to meeting you all in person.
Yes. Thanks so much, and we'll see you soon.
Take care, everyone.
All right.
Thank you.
Bye.
See ya.
Bye.
Hey, this was wonderful.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.